Welcome back, Children of the Night, to another episode of the Infernal Archive. On this episode, we'll be watching the 2021 African movie, Saloum, which is in French. And I guess, like, if you don't know anything about Africa, there's a lot of French colonies in Africa, and that's why it's in French. But, Andrew, could you read from the Wikipedia Scroll of Doom for us, please?
Yes. So, Saloum is a 2021 crime horror thriller film directed by Congolese filmmaker Jean Luc Herbulot. Set in Senegal in 2003, it mostly uses a mix of French, Wolof, and sign language. In 2003, a trio of mercenaries escaping a coup in Guinea-Bissau take refuge in a hidden region of the Saloum River of Senegal, but something from beyond the grave awaits them there.
Hell yeah. I think we talked about this in previous episodes, but it's pretty cool that we had to see a movie from continental Africa, Congolese movie. That's just like, that's not a thing you get to do very often. So, and
just something different. Like, we've had a lot of kind of similar middling things on the show recently. So I'm excited to just have something different, just shaking it up a little bit.
Expand our horizons a little bit, yeah.
I love these some of these international films are just so excellent, and and like outside of the context of watching for the show, I don't know if I would always gravitate towards that as a pick, especially for horror. So
yeah, it's actually an interesting point you bring up, because similarly, the only reason I started watching a lot of international cinema was because of how many people, like, because of the genre of horror, and people saying, like, specifically the genre of horror, there are so many phenomenal horror movies that are better than other, and then that's why I got more interested in international cinema. Like, before that, I'd probably watch like Godzilla, and that would be like as far as my desire, or like some famous, like maybe Kurosawa movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like with horror, it like, you're watching German movies, you're watching French movies, you're watching Korean movies, it's just represented everywhere, and there's usually at least a few great examples of horror from most countries. Canada, we're a little, come on.
Hey, Grave Encounters.
We got Grave Encounters, baby! Grave Encounters is ours. Fuck you. That's true. We always have Grave Encounters. But anyways, we're gonna go check out Saloum, and we will give you our thoughts when we're back.
There's no more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
Welcome back, Children of the Night, to another episode of the Infernal Archive. We just finished watching Saloum from 2021. We were kind of confused because on Prime, I think it said it was made in 2022 or released in 2022, but I think online it said 2021. Anyways, 2021.
International release versus whatever, right?
Yeah, probably. Film from a Congolese filmmaker. Saloum. Andrew, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I would say it's more horror adjacent than it is traditionally horror, which, I mean, because it's a horror series, there's like that to contend with. But that aside, I would say overall, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, more than anything, it was something different, which I enjoyed.
That was one thing I think we said right off the gate, is like, just because of the setting and sort of the inciting incident and stuff, it felt immediately more captivating than 99% of films we see that are like set in Manhattan or set in San Francisco, and it's a guy who just moved to the city. It's like, it doesn't have those like really lazy setup things that so many fucking movies do. So that immediately we were just like, oh, it's interesting how just like that little bit of that injection of novelty can help you, like the whole beginning of your movie can just be like, oh, that's awesome. Just the fact that you presented me with something new, already I'm just so much more on board. But also, it's like, but it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. The characters were phenomenal. The writing was phenomenal. We said that. Like, one thing I think I said at one point was like, this feels like something that Tarantino would be envious of. Like, it felt like Tarantino, but without all the gaudy stuff. And I know we love the gaudy Tarantino stuff, but sometimes you're like, can you maybe do something a little different? Can you maybe go out of your lane just a little? Present me with a like something that's not quite so cartoony.
A little more subtle.
Yeah, a little bit maybe. And to be fair, he does. I feel like I rag on Tarantino a lot, but I love.
It's
Tarantino.
He's an easy target.
He's got a lot of stuff. He's a foot guy.
Have you ever given a foot massage?
Don't be telling me about foot massages. I'm the foot fucking master.
You giving a lot of them?
Shit, yeah. Got my technique down and everything. I don't be tickling or nothing.
Would you give a guy a foot massage?
Fuck you.
Weird guy. But yeah, it felt, it's like the scene at the beginning of Inglourious Bastards I think that is a scene that actually does hit that fucking tonal, like, just seriousness right on the fucking money.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Yes.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes.
And this film, it doesn't go as crazy with the tension as that, but it's very similar. There's a scene in this film that is very similar, has a denouement to it that is very similar. It's a scene at a dinner table, and it is phenomenal. Just really good writing, really good characters, captivating, a captivating situation. There's reveals that happen in it that you're just like, that's fucking amazing. Yeah.
The writing, I would say, is easily the strongest point of this film.
Hands down.
At writing, to me, it's like writing characters, which I guess is kind of writing. But
Yeah.
writing characters, acting, also for
All
like foreign,
super strong,
all super
yeah.
strong.
Yeah. I'm so glad there was a dubbed version of this on Prime that we were going to watch, and then we decided not to watch that because it looked like it was only dubbed. So we watched the original French language with subtitles, and I'm very glad we did that because I do not think this movie would have hit the same way.
No, I
if
don't
we
think
would've
so. The
listened to it dubbed.
performances were so excellent.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely room for improvement in a couple areas, and that I know you mentioned. In general, like I feel like it would have almost been better had they not been trying at all to go the horror thing, and just leaned into the more like drama action thing they were doing, or they executed the horror side a lot better and made it more scary. Because as it was, this entity that they throw out there, it kind of works as the metaphor they're going for, but it didn't really work in terms of being scary or building tension.
It's interesting because like visually, I think it was cool, which is, like at first I was like, oh, I don't like this because it's like they did the thing where I think a lot of films, like especially modern films, get criticized for this when you just have a big black mass as your villain, like. A good example is the newer Harry Potter movies, those Fantastic Beasts movies. Like one of the main villain in that first one, which is the best one, is just this big black cloud, basically. And it works, it's fine, but it's something that's popped up in modern movies quite a few times, and it's like the big glowing blue skylight in Marvel movies. It's like, okay, we've done the big glowing skylight from the sky. Can we do something else? We need a different thing. Yes, we've seen it. We've seen the black cloud. We've seen the whatever. And at first, I'm like, and I had a little bit more sympathy because it's like this is a much lower budget production. Like this is a cool way to like ramp up the high, like making it feel like it has a little bit of a budget, get some effects in there, it gives it like a more of a presence really. So I was a little bit more sympathetic towards it. But I will say when the thing sort of takes form, it like has something going on. It like kind of has horns. It moves in sort of a unique way. And at that point, I'm like, yeah, visually, I really like this. This is a cool thing. And it felt, I have to assume, and I am assuming here, I didn't read about this in advance, but I have to assume this is based on actual African folklore, and that this is, it must be.
It must be a collection of things, or like, if not one specific thing, it's like several different.
I guess what I should say is I hope so. Like if this is supposed to be a representation of some like rural African folklore, that would be really cool, and it would actually like it would elevate bring the film up a little bit for me. Because this is just a random creation. Yeah, maybe I'm not as into it, but like I'm just gonna, in my head canon, I'm gonna pretend like this is based on some sort of African folklore, and that if it is, that's fucking cool. But yeah, like you said, one of the issues with the film is. One of the issues of the film actually is that it's so fucking good for so long. The dialogue is amazing. The reveals are amazing. The plot is super intriguing. The characters are all amazing.
The pacing.
Like, everything is just like so good, and you're so on the journey. There's even a point in the movie I remember being like, man, we really haven't seen anything horror-ish in a long time. And I'm like, ooh, I'm getting worried now because I don't like it when horror movies don't do horror until the ending. And then I'm like, you can't just fucking throw it in there and then expect me to be like, your movie's a horror movie. But the movie was so intriguing that I'm like, you know what? I don't even fucking care. I love watching these characters. I love spending time with them. I even said at one point, I'm like, I want to be in this gang. It's like a gang of 3 guys. I'm like, I want to be their friend. I want to be in their boy.
The hyenas.
Sick. Yeah, the hyenas. They're sick. But then at one point there is like this big supernatural turn. And we were talking about it. Sort of reminded me of like I mentioned on a previous episode that I'm not a the biggest fan of the film From Dusk Till Dawn, because I feel like the turn in that film is like it's too random for me personally.
It's very like out of nowhere. It's very big. It's very gaudy. It's very
That's the thing,
in
it's
your
like-
face. And this is the exact opposite.
And I would never, and with that film, I would never say objectively this is bad. It's just like, it's for my personal sentiments. I personally don't like it. So that's the only thing. I would never want to besmirch somebody who, if that's your favorite movie, fuck yeah, power to you. I have no problems with that. But this film, it sort of does a similar thing, but it felt way more connected to the overall picture, where it's like there is this moment where you're like, oh wow, we're really doing supernatural stuff kind of fucking out of nowhere. But as they do some exposition, you're like, oh no, this is all part of this whole tapestry. And I was like, oh, my brain is so much more accepting of this random supernatural stuff because it feels like it's integrated into the film as a whole, rather than just like I've just dropped a book on you or whatever. And the only issue is that when they do the supernatural stuff, they go into the realm of horror, and you sort of have expectations for horror media, and that is you want to feel scared, hopefully, you want to feel tense, hopefully, and these were sort of emotions that they didn't elicit, and that was kind of the issue. There's a big ending set piece, big action sequence, extended action sequence, and the issue with it is like you have guys that are avoiding an entity, but you're not scared of the entity, so it makes the ending just not hit the way that I think they wanted it to hit, which is like I need to be as wary of this thing as the characters are, and if I'm not feeling the wariness the characters are, then your ending is just not going to have the tense feeling that it needs. And then it just sort of like, I'm not gonna say it fell flat. I was still captivated by the characters. I was still interested in what was happening, but the
ending in terms of like the actual how the events laid out, not how they unfolded on screen, but like in terms of the writing of the ending, it was a great, to the story, it was a good ending. It capped things off well, sense of closure, sense of like completion, and overall I think worked well in that regard. But like you said, kind of lacked that tension. In how they set up it all comes down to the entity, really.
Yeah, true. Like
that's like the main criticism, I think.
Yeah, totally. I'll say this, like just to bring up some more positive things that I'm just thinking of now. I think if you were gonna put this in a horror category, I think it would fit pretty snugly actually in folk horror, which is a category. Like the thing is, you see so few African movies, period, that it's like you don't think of African cinema and then think of folk horror. You usually think of like Irish cinema or like stuff like they really like to lean into folk horror. But this is, at the end of the day, it's about a small community that has these supernatural things that live around it, and the movie takes place in that world. And I think it represents those entities probably similarly to like how they are. Like I said, if this is based on real stuff, which I'm totally just guessing on, but hopefully it is. But hopefully it would be like a semi-accurate representation of maybe what these people in that region of Africa actually think of spirits and evil, whatever. So that I really like, and I do like folk tales from different regions of the world being represented. So that's awesome. And there was some really good stuff with like referencing the river Styx and it's a subtle reference, but like there's a point in how's the best way to say it? The entity they established, there's a lot of mystery that still surrounds it, even at the end of the film. They never really overtly tell you what this thing is after. Yeah. Is it malicious? Is it whatever? All you know about it is that it incurs a human cost. This thing, if you want to live in peace with this entity, sacrifices will need to be made. And it was actually when they did that reveal, I was very interested in like, okay, does this mean that our primary antagonist, because you don't even know the primary antagonist is the primary antagonist until they tell you, and then it's like, okay, it's like, is he actually evil, or is he doing the stuff that he did in his past to placate this entity to keep more people safe? Like it, and I don't think so, and I think he was a bad guy, but like it got me thinking, and I was like, and I'm very glad they didn't just answer it. They were like, they left it in this this place of
ambiguity.
Yeah, exactly. Because like at the end, there's another not twist, but another turn. There's another reveal where you're like, the hunted has become the hunter, and it's like now maybe this character who like had little nuance and little little sympathy for his enemy, maybe now he will see that, oh, this is why. There's some hints at stuff that happens that kind of hint at the fact that this antagonist was like a really bad guy. They never say it overtly, but like,
No.
you get the feeling that he might have done some shit that he didn't have to do so I'm not gonna say he's a good guy, but it is never overtly stated. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's all I really can think of to say. Like if you're looking for something very different, and I know some people aren't the biggest fan of foreign cinema, don't like subtitles. If you enjoy that, I would recommend checking this out because it's
easy recommend.
It's an easy recommend because it's different and interesting, and even the criticisms that we have, I don't know if I'd have them on a second watch of this.
Totally.
Just worth, especially just given the context of this is a horror review show.
I would never recommend this to somebody who wants to watch a horror movie. But if you want to watch interesting foreign cinema, and I'm talking actually interesting, not just fucking begotten, where it's like images at a screen. No, actual good writing, actual good foreign cinema. Easy recommend. Definitely watch this movie. It's like if you just want to know how to write characters that are captivating, just watch this movie.
I would honestly, it's not on this level exactly, but this would. If you showed me City of God and this film, I'd be like, okay.
100%. I 100% agree. Unluckily, just because of the lack of tension at the end,
it's a little notched down.
This movie would have been like a 12 and a half had the ending been tense.
If they stuck the landing.
This would have been such an easy, been like, oh, this is amazing. But because of that, and because the ending really just lacks that, I think we said we were going to end up giving it a 10 out of 13. So definitely watch it. But
80%.
It's still strong. Yeah,
still good. Still worth a watch overall.
Yeah, 100%. But I think that's it for us. Yeah.
We got to do the wheel for the next thing.
The fucking wheel. I always forget. Yes. Okay. There it is. 1 second. I wish I would have gotten it earlier. Here we go.
I forgot until the very end. I saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Okay, we got our wheel. We still don't know where the pointer is, so we'll use the cup as a pointer. And then ghouls in the background. We'll need you to tell me what it lands on. Or wait, Saloum's still on here, isn't it? Shit. If it lands on Saloum, we're not doing Saloum again, obviously. Okay, and the wheel spins. Spins, 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 spins. From Beyond. What year? Can you read it? How's my handwriting? 1986. We'll be watching the film From Beyond.
From 1986.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Infernal Archive, and we will catch you next time.